Last I left off, we were talking about beings that possess individuals, and possession is truly a real thing. I remember as a child, I was maybe about 16, 17 years old, I had my little encounter with the devil. I was at my grandmother's house on my mother's side, and this is in the Middle East. And I was falling asleep, and all of a sudden I felt my body being dragged down, very far down. I almost could feel like something was pulling on my soul. And 1 minute things are light, next thing things are dark, and then it become light again and become dark again, and then finally there's that pulling you down, and you're having this dream almost of dancing with this very charming individual, and you can't help but be swept away by them, but at the same time they want you in such a way, and I found myself resisting and trying to get away from them, refusing once I realized what was happening, and that pull of being in the darkness and being in the light. Well, I managed to get out of that pull also and find myself in the light again, and waking up from what was a very lucid experience for me. But I just want to say I love my mother. I just don't love what's attached to her. And I do know and feel and have experienced possession very regularly in my environment. So, and with that, I want to share that in some way we're all playing some kind of a role too. It's, we all have our role, and she has hers. Talking about my mother, she has her role, and as far as I'm concerned, from what I've experienced so far, it would seem that those roles have been are tailored or coincide with what's going on in the heavens, and there is a mutual reception with what's happening in one's natal chart to one's personality, and to what's occurring in their life, by comparison of just a daily chart to the transits that are occurring in one's natal chart. Anyway, so my father, he was born December 18th, 1946. And he left his home in 1948, never to return again. These very difficult times. And he moved to, I believe, Syria, and as he got older, he found a job in Kuwait. And that's where he met my mother. And they got married, and soon after had me. According to my mother, and this is just information I'm finding out very recently, part of the big reveal in my life, she shared that while she basically went to Egypt to birth me, and my father stayed behind, and when she returned many months later, she found out that he had some kind of an affair with a woman. He was in jail for it, and I guess it was a very stressful ordeal for her. Eventually, they split because of it. But the way that she described it tells me that her lies were already taking over and dominating her and everything else in my environment. And at that point, I'm forced to live this lie that she's subjected me to. Come to find out, if you have, relations with another individual outside of marriage, it's not just a matter of going to jail and getting out. You could be in there indefinitely in such parts of the world, Kuwait, from what I understand, being one of them. I feel that my mom did not want to mention that my father was actually not just married to her, but was married to another woman. And maybe he was leaving her at the time and possibly impregnated her. Well, obviously did impregnate her, because I did eventually meet the rest of my family. But my mother lied and said he was cheating on her. He was in jail because he didn't pay child support, not because he cheated on her. And, that is punishable, but not something to keep you in jail for an indefinite amount of time. So he was released eventually, but the lies are already put in place at that point. And so the story kind of goes from there. The whole thing with my mother possession was very clear and obvious at that point, at a young age, in her early 20s or possibly late teens. I'm not even 100% certain what her age. I'm not even 100% certain what my age is, because everything is just, again, just a lie, and all of it is to hide, what really was going on, to protect herself so she could always be on top in some way and get away with whatever she needed to get away with and look like a victim at the same time. So I think I'll stop here and continue on this journey next time. If you wish to contact me, please send me an email. That is themagiarchitect@gmail.com. Thank you.